What is going on, Screen Watcher Nation? It is the Screen Watcher back here for another movie review. We are going to jump back all the way to 1994 and get our Christmas on with our first Christmas movie review, and it is going to be the Christmas classic, The Santa Claus. But before we get into the cast, crew, and my review of the movie, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel.
Shh, they're about to start the movie.
Okay, so we are going to dissect one of the classic Christmas movies that plays every single year, The Santa Claus. It came out in 1994. It is one of the movies that is watched every year in my household. So let's get into the cast. First, it is starring Tim Allen, who plays the Santa Claus. He plays Scott Calvin in the movie. You would know him from Home Improvement, where he plays Tim the Toolman Taylor. He also plays Buzz Lightyear in the entire Toy Story saga. You have Eric Lloyd, who plays his son Charlie. You would know him from My Giant and Dunstan Checks In, which is kind of a fun movie. I remember watching it a lot as a child. You have Judge Reinhold, which is a phenomenal name, by the way. Judge Reinhold plays Neil, who is kind of the stepfather to Charlie. You would know him from Beverly Hills Cop. You would also know him from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then you have Wendy Crewson. She plays Laura, and she would know her from Air Force One, Bicentennial Man, Room, lots of other movies as well. And then you have David Krumholtz, who plays the elf Bernard. You would know him from 10 Things I Hate About You, as well as Numbers. He was in the entire series of Numbers and lots of other things as well, which I did not know he had such a wide range of things. But once I started doing more research, I knew him from a lot more things than I thought I did. So the basic premise is you have young Charlie, who is spending time with his dad instead of spending Christmas with his mom and her new beau, Judge Reinhold, or Neil. And, you know, Scott Calvin is this workaholic kind of guy. He works for a toy company, and the night of Christmas Eve, he's reading, the night before Christmas with his son Charlie, and as they go to bed, Charlie hears a noise on the roof, and he wakes up his father. So they run outside and they see a sleigh and a Santa Claus up on the roof. Scott yells out. Santa Claus falls off the roof and lands on the ground and all of a sudden disappears. So Scott puts on the suit and hat and on the behoovement of Charlie starts going and delivering presents, which turns him into the Santa Claus. And as the movie goes on, it just turns into just a lot of craziness, and it turns into a full-time job all year round. And it's actually a really deep movie where you see kind of the spirit of Christmas. You see a lot of the family dynamic of a split home during Christmas, and how to bridge those gaps a little bit. And you see parents arguing a little bit and things like that. So it's not necessarily a kid's Christmas movie, even though I watched it a lot as a kid, and a lot of kids watched this movie. It's extremely interesting to see how they played that out, and when they made sequels, because this movie did very well, they changed a little bit of that, which I'll get into that when I do reviews of those movies later on. But this had a very real vibe to it, and the elves up in the North Pole, they aren't all cheery and happy-go-lucky and all that kind of stuff. They have a job to do and they're getting it done, and they're 100 and something years old, but they look like children and things like that. So but they have their job to do, and they want to get it done, and they don't have time for Scott's BS, and they want to get their job done. So Bernard, the head elf, again played by David Krumholtz, just is trying to explain what Scott Calvin's new role is and what he has to do. And Tim Allen's character has to come to the realization of, okay, he's now Santa Claus and he is in charge of the Christmas spirit for the entire world. And it is extremely cool to see. There's a lot of funny parts in the movie. There's a lot of warm, heart melting moments. There's some sad moments. Then there's a lot of Christmassy spirit moments that, for somebody like me and for my sister-in-law Ashley, she's in love with Christmas just as much as I am. It's one of those movies that really warms your heart, and makes you really think about what Christmas is all about, when it comes to the non-religious side of Christmas. It's about family. It's about spending time together and things like that. So, the Santa Claus is definitely one of my favorite Christmas movies. And in 1994, you could get away with a lot more things than I think today. I don't think a lot of it could be made today, but it was well done. It was well written. I don't really ever notice the score in the film, so I'll have to pay attention to that the next time I watch it. But it's kind of whimsical, but it blends itself well. You have a lot of ZZ Top in there, which is kind of funny to kind of bring it into the 90s, which was new back then. It's a fun movie. It's a very wholesome movie. There's not a lot of cursing or anything like that. So I definitely think it's a real movie, but it's a good family Christmas movie. So I give it 2 thumbs up. If you don't already own it, I would say purchase it, watch it during this Christmas time, and you will not be disappointed by it. I definitely own it. I watch it every year, like I said. So this is a Christmas movie A+ in my opinion. So have you seen it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below, or if you're seeing this on Facebook, let me know in the comments section there. That's my review of the Santa Claus. Other than that, hopefully your popcorn is always fresh. Hopefully you enjoy your time at the cinema, whether it is at your local theater or it is in your home theater, whichever you choose to watch your movies at. Have a great day, have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you all later.